The police have identified the two drivers who were killed in Sunday's crash along the Dawkins-Penn Main Road in Clarendon. They are 33-year-old Orane Balfour, a distillery worker of the Ashley Hall housing scheme, and 20-year-old Kamal Clark of Longville Park, both in Clarendon. Reports are that about 8:20, Clark was driving a Toyota Probox motor car and Balfour a Toyota Mark X, and that both vehicles were traveling in opposite direction. It is reported that upon reaching the vicinity of an aggregate plant located along the roadway, both vehicles collided, which resulted in both drivers sustaining injuries. They were assisted to the May Penn Hospital, where Balfour and Clark succumbed.
Hours away last night, there was another accident in the parish. Is this alarming to the rate of accident happening on the roadways in Clarendon?
It is alarming, and these are preventable accidents. So we are imploring our motorists to obey the road code, obey the speed limit. Cut your speed. You will arrive, but you want it to arrive alive. Speeding lessens your chance of surviving, of escaping an accident. So we're asking our motorists to slow down and obey the speed limit.
2 students are dead and several others are nursing injuries in hospital following a motor vehicle crash along the Bustamante Highway in Clarendon Monday morning. The students attend Lennon High School in the parish. Head of Operations for the Clarendon Police, Deputy Superintendent Antongar Cardoza, told our news center one of the vehicles involved in the collision was being operated as a robot taxi. That robot taxi is said to be a Subaru motor car. The police say the driver of the Subaru was heading from May Penn with the students when it collided into the rear of a truck and was flung into the path of a Probox motor car. Videos circulating on social media show the bloodied body of at least one student strewn across the roadway. Several others are seen piled in the back of what appears to be a pickup truck. The 34-year-old driver of the Subaru motor car involved in Monday morning's fatal crash in Clarendon is in the custody of the police. He was nabbed shortly before noon at the Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston. It's understood he was attempting to flee the island. Assistant Commissioner of Police in charge of the Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch, PSTB, Gary McKenzie, confirmed the development.
The driver fled the scene, and based on the information and intelligence that we unearthed, we were able to intercept the driver trying to flee the island at the airport. And so he's now in our custody.
You mean Norman Manley?
That is so.
That was quick.
It was very quick, but we are very happy that our systems and communication are at the superior level where we were able to do the appropriate tracking so that we could have him before he fled the country.
The sentencing hearing for dental assistant Coyote Satchel, who admitted to slashing 8-year-old Danielle Rowe's throat last year June, this afternoon, heard that the child was murdered after the killer reportedly contracted HIV from the child's father. Satchel's lawyer Pierre Rogers, in making the revelation, said his client never planned on killing the child but did so out of frustration after her attempts to have the father prosecuted fell on deaf ears. However, the sentencing, which was slated for today, was postponed for the judge to rule on December 20th. Meanwhile, the 32-year-old child killer who last month pleaded guilty to murder and child stealing, broke down in tears and was seen sobbing as she was led from the courtroom. She was also observed whispering an apology to Rowe's mother and sister from the dock. Earlier, Rowe's mother and sister wept openly in court and were observed consoling each other. The clerk, while reading the very moving victim impact report, also had to pause and was seen removing his glasses and wiping his eyes. 2 probation officers were also observed with tears flowing from their eyes. The 2nd-grade student of Brayton Primary and Infant School in St. Catherine was abducted on June 8 last year from her school. The child was seen later that day with her throat slashed on Roosevelt Avenue in St. Andrew. She was rushed by persons in the area to the Bustamante Hospital for Children, where she died 2 days later. The post-mortem report revealed the child died from an incised wound to the neck. Investigations by the police led to Satchel being arrested on August 11 last year. She was subsequently charged with murder. Attorney-at-law Pierre Rogers and Donovan Collins are representing Satchel.
Good day, I'm Twyla Whelan, and this is your JS News for Monday, December 2, 2024. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says a beach park has been identified for Priory in St. Anne and another in the Grill, Westmoreland. He gave the update on plans for the development of parks and green spaces during a stakeholder breakfast meeting hosted by the Urban Development Corporation, UDC, last week.
Then, in St. Thomas, we have given a directive to the UDC to identify and or acquire land in St. Thomas to build their parish park, and that will be called the Freedom Park.
He also reiterated earlier commitments that the Hope Park at Hope Gardens in St. Andrew would be upgraded, while Kingston is also earmarked for a waterfront park.
So there is already in place, not just plans, the wheel is already in motion for the development of the Kingston waterfront, and the entire Kingston waterfront will be a park. So we have signed a loan with the World Bank for $12 million. It will be $40 million overall, but $12 million US for the development of the linear park, which will run from the Marine Police Station all the way to Raytown. And it will be a fantastic gathering place for all Jamaica.
Meanwhile, development on the Portmore Resilience Park is now 30% complete, and opening is projected for October of 2025. Approximately 3,000 residents of St. Elizabeth are benefiting from the installation of 2 generators at the National Water Commission's Newell and Little Park facilities in the parish. The installation of the generators has significantly enhanced water service reliability for residents of Newell, Beacon, Blunters, Billy's Bay, Great Bay, Old Wharf, Calabash Bay, Pedro Beach, Little Park and Sandy Bank. On Friday, government formalized the agreement with the Bread's Treasure Beach Foundation, which loaned the 2 generators, valued at $24 million, to the NWC in the wake of Hurricane Beryl. Minister with responsibility for water, Matthew Samuda, has lauded the partnership, which he says should be emulated by other private sector interests.
We are going to need partnerships, we are going to need help, and we are accepting this with open arms, and we invite others to do the same.
At the same time, he reiterates that the government is making major investments in the country's water infrastructure.
We are investing at an unprecedented rate. The Water Commission and Rural Water collectively are active in 74 capital projects, repairing lines, putting in storage, changing old pumps.
Jamaica now has the capacity to bring 45,000 visitors from South America this winter season, thanks to the resumption of LATAM Airlines out of Lima, Peru. The South American airline landed at the Sangsta International Airport with a full flight yesterday. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett says this winter season will be a strong one, led by the resurgence of the South American airline.
LATAM covers all the bases, and even though we recognize that there are some areas of South America to be touched, we know that most areas of South America are touched by LATAM. But utilizing the Lima gateway, the Lima hub, makes it even more exciting, because now we are not only feeding from LATAM into Lima, but Lima is being fed by other airlines that will now use LATAM to come to Jamaica.
The flights will operate 3 times per week, on Thursdays, Saturdays and Sundays. The schedule is designed to provide convenient connections with Peru's domestic network, as well as several South American countries, including Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Paraguay and Uruguay. Residents of St. Thomas can now look forward to a more comfortable and convenient travel experience to and from Kingston, thanks to new routes introduced by the Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC. The new routes are 701 and 702. The 701 will travel between Yallas and Kingston via Albion and Bull Bay. The cost will be $200 without a JUTC smart card, but adults with a smart card will only pay $100 and children $50. Route 702 will travel from Morant Bay to Kingston through White Horses, Pamphret, Yallas and Albion. The base fare for this route is $300. It cuts to $200 for adults and $100 for children with a smart card. Plans are underway to launch Jamaica's first artificial intelligence AI lab by the end of 2025 as part of the government's digital transformation strategy. Minister of Education, Skills, Youth and Information Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon says this is part of ensuring the technology is utilized to enhance learning and improve access to quality education. As part of the broader initiative, Senator Dixon adds that there are plans to develop specialized labs in schools that will allow students to have a working understanding of digital technology and expose them to job opportunities within the space.
Our education system is changing. Everything about it is changing. And when we talk about STEM education, it links back to AI. Because for our children to be able to innovate and create the new programs, new AI programs, they need to have a particular kind of thinking. They have to be critical thinkers. That's why we're doing what we're doing.
The Education Minister was speaking at the recent National Parenting Support Commission (NPSC) Parenting and AI Forum in Kingston. She's encouraging parents to see AI as a tool for growth, urging them to set boundaries around technology use while discussing how it can prepare children for emerging job opportunities. And finally, the new Custos of St. Anne, Joseph Issa, is being hailed as a visionary leader, a dedicated philanthropist, and a champion of innovation. Mr. Issa was presented with the Grand Commission and the Magistrate's role during the installation ceremony on Thursday. Both Governor General Sir Patrick Allen and Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness agreed that the appointment was well deserved.
His extensive leadership experience and unwavering commitment to the well-being of others uniquely position him to guide St. Anne into a new era of growth and progress.
His appointment as Custos is a well-deserved recognition of his integrity, dedication, and tireless contribution to his parish and country.
As Custos Rotulorum, Mr. Issa will oversee 548 justices of the peace in St. Anne. He expressed deep appreciation for the trust placed in him and vowed to work alongside the parish's dedicated team of JPs to enhance the linkages between government and communities.
In this regard, I intend to vigorously uphold the appointment and supervision process so that there is no compromising on the good name of JPs and the justice system.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Twyla Whelan.
The Independent Commission of Investigations is probing in the fatal shooting of a senior citizen by the police in Portmore, St. Catherine during an alleged machete attack. The deceased has been identified as 68-year-old Robert Gale of Passage Fort in the municipality. It is reported that about 2:45 p.m. on Sunday, December 1st, the police went to Lincoln Road in Passage Fort where Gale lived, where the cops were allegedly attacked by the man who was armed with a machete. The police took evasive action, during which he was shot. He was assisted to the Spanish Town Hospital, where he was pronounced dead.